yo, Fifth, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give it up to you. The production on your show, incredible. Light show, incredible. The dances, incredible. The outfit changes, incredible. Significant improvement since the way you used to perform back in the day. Like, looking like you fanning a fart is a better performance than Busta Rhymes. You out your rabbit.
Man, I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody, I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I go shopping, I give me a mean leather jacket. I think I'm doing my thing. I'm like, you know, on my own little planet. I ain't nobody. He's always got to try to one up on me, right? Have one up on me. I get a banging leather jacket. This Busta get a leather line out.
You know good and well that I woke up to this you done started this morning, and I was the one that was leaving everybody alone. So what you doing is giving false narratives, homie. You talking about you just went to buy a leather jacket. You ain't bothering nobody. You left alone. And I went and bought a leather hairline. Well, let me tell you something, buddy.
It started as a compliment, but everyone watching knew this wasn't praise. It was the opening jab. Busta Rhymes, a legend known for energy and presence, had just thrown shade in the most polite way possible, and the target, none other than 50 Cent. To the casual fan, this might have looked like friendly banter, two veterans trading shots for fun. But to those who followed their history, this moment hit different. There's always been unspoken tension between these two, respect mixed with rivalry, loyalty shadowed by competition. Because behind that smile, Busta was sending a message. He wasn't about to let 50's dominance go unchecked, and what he didn't realize was that 50 had already seen this clip. He was waiting, but this time, the response wouldn't just be words, it would expose something much deeper, something that would tie Busta directly into a circle nobody wanted to be linked to.
The rapper, Busta Rhymes, I see him pull the little lawyer dude into the section, and they walled him off. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, damn. Well, he ain't come. Well, he came with us. But I usually got a rule. You come with us, you gotta leave with us. Cause I'm this big black him. I'm gonna be the only person they come to pick up first if one of y'all don't show up home. So it's like, I try to stick to my protocol. Man, the dude stayed with them. And then his boyfriend was on Facebook woofing the whole next day. Oh, my ain't loyal and all of this shit.
Wait a minute, hold on. Any one of us can look at this on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm gonna find this man page, bro.
They weirdos, cause you know they paid me to come on the stream before, so they control. So I'm like, y'all making fake content. So when I seen them in person, Wax say, calm down, CC, it's just for the internet. It's just content. We know Busta Rhymes gay, but you can't be saying that. I'm looking like, what? And then the dude, loose cannon, like, CC, man, you gotta calm down, man. We just getting content off. I say, bro, we not playing, making fake content. So now that I see that's what they do, weirdo.
Everybody knows what a rainbow is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what the sky can bring. It brings rain, it brings the sun. Like, you understand what life is too, you know? So for me to know that you have a great, you know, Raymona Harvey is Busta Rhymes, this is his real name. Anybody can get on Facebook and look up Raymona Harvey and be like, yo, that's Busta Rhymes, yo, with no wig on. And be like, yo, wild out, on your own time, but this is information that you allow.
You're you know, a veteran of the hip hop community. Frank Ocean just recently came out with a statement saying that, you know, he was in a relationship, you know, long ago. Do you think hip hop's ready for like someone of a different orientation, or are they going to be accepting of it, or what are your opinions on that?
I don't know if it's just about hip hop being willing to accept it. I think the whole world is ready to accept whatever people choose to be in life. You know what I'm saying? From hip hop all the way down to just the common man that walks the streets and the earth every day. It's like we're at a place in life where, you know, we gotta respect and accept what people choose as their path that they want to walk in life. Because ultimately, you want people to choose you want people to respect what you choose as your path in your journey in life. And ultimately, you know, whatever that man does in his personal space is that man's choice, and it's that man's business. I am an extremely huge fan of Frank Ocean. His music is impeccable to me. And as far as I'm concerned, I respect the dude completely. I think, you know, whatever he does at home is his business. Just keep that music popping the way you've been keeping it, brother. And you got my money from the concerts. You got my money from when you put them albums in the stores, and it ain't gonna stop as long as you continue to contribute your greatness. God bless.
What looked like a light-hearted roast quickly started to sound like frustration boiling over. Busta wasn't just clowning, he was defending. The man who'd once dominated stages with unmatched energy now sounded cornered. He kept saying he was just chilling, not bothering nobody. But if you have to say it that many times, you probably are. That's the thing about pride in hip-hop. It never really disappears. It hides under the surface until somebody pokes at it. And for Busta, 50's rise back to cultural dominance through his massive world tour was that poke. While 50 was selling out arenas, Busta was fighting online rumors. Whispers about leaked tapes, old footage, and strange associations resurfacing at the worst possible time. So when he mentioned that banging leather jacket, it wasn't about fashion. It was about control, proving he still had it, that he wasn't being overshadowed by a man he once inspired. But, as we'll see, 50 wasn't done. He was just getting started.
So do me a favor, right, man? You would never listen to what you're saying, y'all? That was it right there. Now, Fifth, how much y'all do for real?
What is that, man? It's real pizza. I can't afford nothing, man. All my money's in Western Holdings.
Don't worry, we're rich. Where's the mom? It's my birthday.
I love you.
We are dealing with you because cool for cool. You with the cost. We are dealing with you because.
Hello, I'm Amber.
How are you?
Nice to see you. Welcome aboard.
Pleasure, Amber.
Thank you.
As we always say, the blessings don't stop, so we ain't stopping. Stay blessed up. Don't block your blessing. Know when to get out the way so that the passions could be free, to let the blessings continue to be bestowed in abundance. The birthday turn up ain't done no time soon. Happy Memorial Day weekend. We are here with you, Ticos. In 1 week, worldwide, 840,000 tickets sold in 1 week. 840,000 tickets in 1 week. No, hold up. Hold up. Stop. Sold 675,000 tickets before the first show in 4 days.
That's because I've been out of the country.
He was hitting me 3 days in a row, like he hit me the first day. No, hold on, he hit me the first.
Now the energy had shifted. The jokes were gone. This was no longer two rappers trading lines. It was one man feeling betrayed, exposed, and desperate to control a story spinning out of his hands. False narratives, that phrase told you everything. It's the word people use when they're cornered, when the internet's version of events starts outrunning the truth. Busta was tired, frustrated, and paranoid that 50 was the one orchestrating it all from behind the curtain. And honestly, he might have been right, because 50 doesn't argue online, he weaponizes attention. Every move is deliberate, every post, every clip, every smile on live stream, part of a bigger play. So while Busta was online pleading his innocence, 50 was already 3 steps ahead, letting the internet tear him apart while he watched quietly from the sidelines. The fans didn't know it yet, but the footage that would change everything was about to surface.
Tour for 5 months. We did the first show July 21st. My last show was November 21st. He's still on that same tour.
Yeah, man.
He don't play with that work. Ever since he first came to Violator and the first Get Rich or Die Trying came out, he was the only one that would jump on a plane like the was a cab.
Right. Go get it.
That got no problem flying 20 hours somewhere and coming back home the next day. This is how he was from the beginning. So being on that tour and being able to do all of those antics every night, the way it was received was phenomenal.
If Busta ever tried to front on me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 million, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show. Look, man, if they try to say that if you ever thought that the Busta Rhymes was better than me, you crazy. You crazy, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give it up to you. The production on your show, incredible. Light show, incredible. The dances, incredible. The outfit changes, incredible. Significant improvement since the way you used to perform back in the day.
Like, looking like you fanning a fart is a better performance than Busta Rhymes. You out your rabbit. Keep fanning the fart. Keep fanning the fart. Hey, yo, what you say, Split? F50, fanning the fart Ferrari. F50, break it down. Fan it down.
Man, I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody, I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I go shopping, I get me a mean leather jacket. I think I'm doing my thing. I'm like, I'm my own little planet. I ain't with nobody. Just always gotta try to one up on me, right? Have one up on me. I get a banging leather jacket, this Busta get a leather line up.
That was the moment everything changed. The jokes about jackets and performances faded, replaced by something darker. Footage started circulating online, and suddenly, the conversation wasn't about music anymore. Busta's name was now being mentioned in the same breath as Diddy, and not because of music. Allegations, whispers, and old connections started to resurface, painting a picture nobody wanted to believe. The same man, once praised for pure performance energy, was now being accused of being part of something hidden, something inside Diddy's notorious inner circle. Fans started replaying old interviews, slowing down clips, searching for clues in his behavior. And that's when they noticed his silence. No denial, no statement, just deflection and humor. In hip-hop, silence speaks volumes, because when a man like 50 stays quiet, he's planning. But when Busta stays quiet, people start digging. And what they found next made even longtime fans question what was real and what had been hidden in plain sight all along.
So do me a favor, right? Spare you another layer, so what you saying, yo? That was it right there. Now, Viv, I'm gonna tell you for real. What you do at this time, you gotta get low with the mix, though. You know how I do it on that. I ain't doing this right now. You really do it how he do it. I see the way I do it. I wanna see the breath control everything. Now you do it. No, that's when you when I'm in the shower. I'm Busta Rhymes. That's not how I do it in the shower. Now, hit you with nothing it's really what the Diddy out. Don't stop, don't stop. Man, y'all got to pay me big money for this shit. All this is. Yeah. That's it. Bust a bus.
Dragon season. Everybody go get your dragon mask. Available on Busta Rhymes universe. Click the link in the bio. Shop Busta Rhymes universe right now. It's that time. Dragon season. Yeah, we dropping Unleash Me at midnight too. We ain't playing no games with none of y'all. What season is it? What season is it? What season is it? You know good and well that I woke up to this you that started this morning, and I was the one that was leaving everybody alone. So what you doing is giving false narratives, homie. You talking about you just went to buy a leather jacket. You ain't bothering nobody. You left alone. And I went and bought a leather hairline. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. On some real G. Let me tell you something. It's already been sanctioned on how I'm gonna hit him. You talking about that pimpin' curly that you was doing as a character? But no, you was doing pimpin' curly in real life too. Trying to look like Rico Suave or one of them going down a red carpet at one of them movies you was involved with. And I don't want you to use that as no excuse neither, talking about you was playing a character. You wasn't in character when you had to go down that red carpet. You could have got back to yourself. You chose to stay in character with that Rico Suave, some berries and sweet juices you had up in your head top. Now, I do want you to know I'm your brother, so I'm gonna always support you and everything you do. I ain't been doing nothing but that since the inception of our friendship. File it up. Now, with that being said, I got one question to the masses. There's several products that you have to incorporate to get your to look like Rico 50. All right? Rico Suave, we talking about Rico 50. Let's see which one of the products that he used to get to looking like Rico 50. Was it this? Or was it this? Or was it this? Matter of fact, I think the real question is, did he blend all three of these to look like this? Chill. I got a grand prize for anyone that jumps in the comments, any consumer around the world that used to also use these products to help identify, doing a forensic deep dive and a research and a data analytics on those products to help us understand, was it a combined effort of all three, or was it a combined effort of two, or was it just one of them to get you to look like Rico 50? Now, with that being said, if you guess right what the blend was chemically for that berry juice look for Rico 50, you might win a grand prize. Until then, just know, the blessings don't stop. So we gonna just keep this going as long as we need to. Because if the blessings don't stop, I don't stop. And we don't stop. Dragon season.
When that clip hit the internet, it didn't just go viral, it detonated. Because this wasn't a fan edit or a paparazzi moment. It was something that wasn't supposed to exist. People started connecting dots that maybe weren't meant to be connected. Busta was seen at private industry events for decades, places whispered about but rarely documented. But this time, the timing was brutal. Federal eyes were already on Diddy, and now this footage put Busta in proximity to everything people were trying to piece together. You could feel the tension shift. Blogs stopped cracking jokes. Comment sections turned serious. Fans weren't laughing. They were asking questions. How deep does this go? Why now? And more importantly, who leaked it? Every second of that clip was dissected frame by frame. Every movement, every sound, analyzed for meaning. And while everyone was looking for clues, 50 Cent was quiet. Too quiet. And in hip-hop, when 50's quiet, something big is about to happen.
See you, baby.
Weekend, a video went viral of Busta flirting with a concert goer in suggestive fashion while opening for the G-Unit boss on his final lap tour in St. Paul, Minnesota last Friday, September 15th. The clip showed him holding his microphone near his crotch and stroking it as if it was an erect while staring at a fan in the crowd and sticking his tongue out. After the video caused a stir on social media, with some people horrified by Busta's shamelessly horny behavior, 50 Cent reshared it on his Instagram page on Monday, September 18th, along with a few words clowning his close friend. Busta stole this move from me. I used to do this to Magic Stick 10 years ago. Now it just feels dirty, inappropriate, unnecessary. This is giving your old uncle at the barbecue that won't go sit down vibes, right? Busta Rhymes saw the funny side of it as he responded with several laughing face emojis in the comment section. This isn't the first time that 50 Cent has ribbed Busta Rhymes on the road. While backstage during a tour stop in Charlotte, North Carolina in August, he couldn't help but poke fun at him in his oversized jewelry.
Tell him the chain too big. Whoa! Tell him the chain too big. He ain't got no friends. They're not telling him.
Jokes aside, at least one of 50 and Busta's rap peers wants to see the pair capitalize on their time together on tour and hit the studio. In a tweet last month, Waka Flocka Flame called for the rap legends to drop a full-length project together, saying the culture needs it. The culture need a joint album from Busta Rhymes and 50 Cent. Don't give us a tired excuse because y'all going on a worldwide tour. That's too much time, LOL. Waka's wish might be a long shot though, considering 50 and Busta have only appeared on a handful of songs together, including Eminem's 2003 Ja Rule diss Hail Mary and the Posse cut Victory 2004 alongside
That post hit like a warning shot. 50 didn't need words, just that one picture. Because when he moves in silence, it's never random, it's strategy. The caption was blank, but the message was clear. I see everything. And the internet knew exactly who he was talking to. For years, 50 and Diddy had traded subliminals, slick lines, quiet jabs, coded interviews. But this time, 50 wasn't targeting Puff directly. He was going after the people around him, anyone who stood too close. And in that moment, Busta Rhymes fit the profile perfectly. That's how 50 works. He never attacks the king first. He weakens the castle, he turns the crowd. And once everyone's looking, then he strikes. So when people saw that image, they didn't just scroll, they paused. Because if 50's posting, that means someone's about to lose control of the narrative. And maybe their entire reputation. The real question became, was this calculated revenge, or just 50 doing what 50 does best, stirring chaos for sport?
Going on in the music industry and the headlines pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations, and the things that are coming forward with him?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. When that time manifests, then, we'll speak about this, hopefully when that time comes. As far as I'm concerned, I don't really like to speak on situations that I'm not well versed in, and that's not really my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things when it's as sensitive as this.
And it's incredibly sensitive.
It's extremely sensitive, and I think that people don't keep in mind the effect of what their opinion can have. And I think it's really, really important that we reserve our opinions until we understand what the undisputed truth is, because an opinion can detrimentally affect someone short term and long term. And I just, from my own learning experiences and being through, none of us are exempt from going through challenges and obstacles and trials and tribulations, some are way more intense and extreme than others. But I think at the end of the day, as we go through these things, we learn from them, and we also got to learn how to help people get through them. And that's the angle in life that I like to approach things from, because I know if any one of us is going through challenges in general, we do want some sort of help and guidance and support to not make those mistakes again.
Have you had the chance to speak to Diddy?
I spoke to him a few times before, it got a little out of control. But a lot of the times when people are going through things, you gotta respect the space and the privacy that they need to process how they're gonna deal with the things that they're going through, and I just wanna see.
The internet turned fast, one moment laughing, the next ready to tear down a legend. And that's what made it brutal. Because for an artist like Busta Rhymes, image isn't just part of the career, it is the career. When Busta went live, you could feel it, that nervous edge in his voice. He smiled, but his eyes said something else. He tried to flip the narrative, joke around, pretend it didn't bother him, but people could tell. He wasn't laughing anymore, and the more he tried to talk his way out, the deeper it got. Clips from old interviews with Diddy resurfaced. Photos, videos, backstage moments, all repurposed and remixed by fans who wanted answers. It was no longer about rumors, it was about patterns. That's when the mob turned full-blown investigator. Every past moment became evidence. Every smile looked suspicious. And as fans kept digging, one small piece of the story popped up. One that nobody expected to connect to 50 himself, because deep in the comments of 50's original post was a like from someone inside Busta's own camp.
Celebrating a legal win after a federal judge dropped multiple charges in a $30 million civil lawsuit against him. The New York judge dismissed the most serious allegations in the lawsuit from former music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones and warned Jones's attorney to stop making, quote, irrelevant insults, misstatements, and exaggerations. Combs denies all the allegations against him, and this all comes as a new ABC News podcast is shedding light on the criminal charges and civil lawsuits against Diddy and his claims of innocence. Bad Rap, the case against Diddy, is brought to you by host ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer, and I spoke with Brian yesterday to tell us all about it. Take a look. Congratulations on the new podcast. I know our viewers are excited because you're a familiar face around here. So I want to start there because you are on here almost every week, if not more often, with me talking about big cases in the news. So what made you focus on this one? What is it about Diddy's case that made you want to dig deeper?
So I think it's a combination of, and I think we can all kind of agree to some extent, everyone knows Puffy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, in some way, shape, or form through his music. He's had a huge influence in the way that we look at hip hop, the way we look at millionaires, billionaires, fashion, things like that. And then all of a sudden, we have this massive criminal case. And I think a lot of people are looking back and saying, what? I heard a whisper, I heard a rumor. Is this connected? Is it not? And I think both as an attorney and as just a person who was born in the 80s, this fascinated me. And I really appreciate ABC and everyone involved, because when I came with a crazy idea of like, what about a podcast? People were like, you know what? Yeah, let's see how this works.
How significant is it that this federal judge just dropped multiple charges from Lil Rod's civil lawsuit?
So I get that it's a big headline, and it is significant if you're looking at it just as this civil lawsuit. And I think the Rodney Jones lawsuit was massive in the sense that it led to the raids of Sean Combs' homes, because in that lawsuit he said this is where the videos are, this is what he's doing with it, all these allegations, and likely led to this federal indictment. But the reason why these charges got dismissed is because of pleadings. The way that the attorney pled out the charges with RICO, for example, that highest charge, and couldn't connect an alleged criminal enterprise to the damages that Rodney Jones says that he faced. Now, does that mean that Sean Combs had a RICO enterprise? Maybe, maybe not. But it means in the civil lawsuit, it's not going to apply. So for his federal indictment, that criminal case, that's still going on, and that's probably a bigger issue for Sean Combs overall.
This story has gotten a lot of coverage already, and it undoubtedly will continue to. So what makes Bad Rap different?
So I think the really beautiful thing that ABC Radio radio and 2020 is doing is we have so much video, audio over the years of Sean Combs. He's always been in the public eye, and the ability to go through archival information, to speak to experts who are at some of the white parties, who listen to some of his music, who are following it all along, and then kind of just putting myself in there. Also someone who actually knows the law, who has been in the Southern District of New York where he's being prosecuted, and you get to see it from all of those angles, and someone who's familiar with the music and the culture in many ways, and talking about it from all those angles, and then leading up to the trial. I think a lot of times we talk about trials, we kind of just drop people in. It's like, all right, here's opening statements. But with the podcast, you get to really follow the rise and fall of Sean Combs up into the trial, hear the controversy, hear the whispers, hear what could have really crashed his career but didn't, and then we leave you right at the trial, informed, entertained, exhilarated, and then we do it twice a week while the trial goes on, and we're going to give you those updates, give you that analysis, and also how it's all connected.
And I can confirm even from our conversations, when you understand what's coming in a trial and the context around it before that trial starts, it makes the trial itself so much more interesting. And I know you touched on how you have weekly episodes, and then once the trial starts, you're going to have twice a week episodes. What should we expect there from those kind of live updates?
I think you're going to get everything that you are accustomed to getting in ABC News Live, as well as radio, in the sense of they're already saying, Brian, we're going to have you right there sitting next to Aaron Katursky. You're going to be listening and watching, and when I come out to talk about the podcast, it's not just going to be, well, this evidence came out. It's going to be like, what was the jury looking like? What was this person doing? Unfortunately, in the Southern District of New York, we don't have cameras. People are not going to be able to watch this trial. Listening is probably going to be the best bet, and I love the way that ABC is attacking this and saying, let's put people in that courtroom as best as we can and give them a podcast that allows for that. So I think hearing about it, not just from a reporter, but also from an attorney, and hearing both of those aspects, I think
that single like hit harder than any diss track. Because in the world of hip-hop, loyalty is currency. And when someone in your own circle sides with your rival, it's not just a digital slip-up, it's a fracture. Suddenly, it wasn't just 50 versus Busta. It was Busta versus himself, his team, his history, his reputation, all being picked apart in real time. And the worst part? He couldn't stop it. He tried damage control, unliking the post, posting cryptic stories, deleting comments. But the internet never forgets. That one screenshot was enough to paint a whole narrative, that his own people didn't believe in him anymore. And that's where the story took a darker turn. Because what started as petty online shade now looked like strategic destruction, a silent war led by one man who knew how to turn perception into power. 50 didn't have to say a word. He just set the internet on fire and let it burn on its own. But the real twist? What came next wasn't even about 50 anymore. It was about what Busta was hiding and who might have helped expose it. When the cameras stopped rolling and the comments began to cool, something strange happened. The whole internet had been laughing at the back and forth between 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes, but underneath the memes, people started whispering. It wasn't just a beef anymore, it was a mirror, showing how the industry itself really works when the lights go out. Because the truth is, every time a feud like this goes public, it's never just about jokes or egos. It's about who controls the story. 50 knows that better than anyone. He doesn't just clown people for fun, he turns moments into marketing and chaos into currency. While Busta was defending himself on live, 50 was already 5 moves ahead, turning the argument into an arena show. And yet, while the internet laughed, the silence from Diddy's camp said more than any punchline. The timing was too perfect. Lawsuits, raids, accusations, and right in the middle of it all, 2 of hip-hop's loudest personalities keeping everyone distracted. Some fans started asking the question nobody wanted to touch. Was this drama spontaneous or strategic? Because in this game, visibility is survival. And if there's one thing the old guard learned from Diddy, it's how to redirect a storm. The art of misdirection. Turn a scandal into a spectacle. Let the crowd look left, while the truth slips quietly to the right. Still, Busta didn't deserve all of it. He came from an era where energy was everything. Raw, explosive, animated. He built his name on stage presence, not algorithms. But the internet doesn't honor history. It feeds on heat. And when those viral clips started spreading, people forgot about the legend and focused on the headlines. Behind the scenes, insiders said he felt betrayed, not just by fans, but by peers who stayed quiet. The same voices that once called him a brother suddenly went ghost when his name trended for the wrong reasons. That's the part no one sees, the cost of fame when the crowd flips. Meanwhile, 50 kept smiling. Not because he hated Busta, but because he understood something deeper. In 2025, perception is power. Whoever controls the narrative controls the market. One Instagram post can shift millions in ticket sales. One meme can rewrite history. But the deeper question, the one people whisper about in studios and green rooms, is why the same names keep circling back to the same rumors. Why every scandal, every lawsuit, every leaked clip somehow ties to the same few power players. Because the industry isn't just about music. It's a system of favors, silence, and survival. And when 50 pokes fun, he's not just clowning a person. He's testing the system, seeing who laughs, who defends, who hides. Every jab is data. Every reaction is a map. That's why this situation feels bigger than a feud. It's a snapshot of what happens when the old world of hip-hop collides with the new world of accountability. When legends raised on loyalty face an audience raised on exposure. In that clash, nobody leaves clean. As the smoke settled, Busta tried to remind people of his roots, how he built everything from energy, rhythm, and authenticity. But the algorithm doesn't care about legacy. It only recognizes momentum. And 50 kept his foot on the gas, feeding the fire with every joke, every post, every smirk. Then came the twist nobody expected. Busta, instead of doubling down, turned philosophical. Interviews showed him calm, reflective, talking about privacy, empathy, and understanding. Words rarely used in a feud. Some said it was damage control. Others saw a veteran trying to show growth in an industry that rewards chaos. But behind that calm tone, the tension was obvious. Because no matter how peaceful the words, the energy between him and 50 had shifted. You could feel it. Respect mixed with rivalry, friendship laced with competition. Two giants standing on opposite sides of the same fire. And through it all, Diddy's shadow lingered. Not because of direct involvement, but because his name has become shorthand for the deeper questions. The blurred lines between art, power, and exploitation. Every time a new headline drops, it forces artists to choose, speak up or stay silent, support the culture or protect the brand. For 50, the choice has always been easy. He's built his career on saying what everyone else is afraid to say. For Busta, the choice is harder. He's from an era that still values discretion. Handle things behind closed doors, not on live streams. That difference in philosophy is the real divide, and it's not just between them. It's generational. The new school grew up on transparency. They record everything, post everything, monetize everything. The old school came from privacy, mystique, image control. When those worlds collide, misunderstanding is guaranteed. Still, something about this moment feels like a turning point. Not just for Busta or 50, but for hip-hop itself. The audience is changing. They want truth, not personas. They want receipts, not rhetoric. And if the legends can't adapt, the internet will eat them alive. But the irony? The same internet that drags you down can also resurrect you. The same memes that clown you can turn into streams, tickets, and headlines. 50 knows that better than anyone. That's why he never apologizes. He monetizes. As the weeks passed, the story evolved. Diddy caught a brief legal win, but the heat around his name didn't fade. Busta laid low, focused on his tour and merch drops. 50 moved on to the next punchline, the next show, the next viral clip, but the echoes of their clash stayed online, a reminder of how quickly admiration can turn into ammunition. And somewhere beneath the laughter, fans started to reflect. Maybe this wasn't just celebrity drama. Maybe it was a warning that fame without authenticity is fragile, that the same energy that builds your legend can destroy it overnight. Because the truth is, hip-hop has always been about resilience. It's about turning pain into power, chaos into art. The same streets that birthed 50 and Busta taught them that every hit, every diss, every scandal is just another verse in the larger story. So while the internet keeps speculating who's up, who's canceled, who's connected to who, the real ones know the game doesn't stop. The stage lights always come back on. The mic always finds its way back into the right hands. And as long as there's tension, there'll be a beat. As long as there's rivalry, there'll be rhythm. Because that's what hip-hop is built on. Conflict turned into creativity. Ego turned into expression. Still, you can't help but wonder how many of these feuds are real, and how many are just smokescreens for something bigger. Maybe 50's laughter hides strategy. Maybe Busta's calm hides anger. Maybe Diddy's silence hides fear. Or maybe it's all just the theater of survival. Either way, the show goes on. The headlines roll, the fans refresh, and somewhere behind the scenes, deals are made, alliances shift, and the cycle starts again. Because in this business, nothing is coincidence. Every leak, every laugh, every post is a move on the board. Some play for fame, some play for freedom, and some, like 50, play for legacy. And that's what makes this story more than gossip. It's a study in power, how it's gained, how it's used, and how quickly it can turn against you. So while the crowd debates who won the feud, the real question is, who learned the lesson? Because in this industry, survival isn't about talent anymore. It's about timing, truth, and knowing when to stay silent. And don't go anywhere. Click the next video you see on your screen for even more juicy celebrity chaos, betrayals, and stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know. See you in the next one.